Hi, and welcome to All Things Cozy with Matt.
And Gillian.
We are a bi-weekly podcast about everything that is warm, soft, and comforting. As we have for the last few years, we're taking time at the start of the new year to listen to the whispers of fate, to see what cozy trends will help us heal, rest, and feel safe and snuggly in 2026. We'll revisit our predictions from last year to see which of them were woven into the fabric of 2025 and which turned out to be loose ends. We'll also do our best to map out the cozy landscape of 2026 in an effort to chart the peaks of positivity, the rivers of reflection, and the shores of satisfaction. Some of these things we know will for sure cross our path as we share upcoming cozy books, TV shows, and music that will be released this year, but others will be pulled out of the ether as we test our skills at seeing the future. Before we see what's in the cards for the year ahead, let's see what's in the news right now with Cozy in the News. Gillian, what is on your news desk? Our first news item of a new year.
Matt, what would a new year at All Things Cozy HQ be without a cat story fresh out of the litter box times? Kicking things off for us in 2026 is 10 Downing Street's Larry the Cat, aka the Chief Mouser to the Cabinet Office, who caused a bit of commotion this week when he tripped a photographer outside of the iconic residence. The photographer was leaving 10 Downing following a meeting between Poland's president and the UK Prime Minister when 19-year-old, yes, 19-year-old Larry darted ahead and caused the man to stumble a bit. The moment was caught on video and has since gone viral, but Larry isn't letting the negative press shave off one of his 9 lives. I did not, an account posing as Larry the Cat tweeted in response to the allegation he, quote-unquote, tripped up the photographer, while another message from Larry said, watch the video and judge for yourself if I tripped the photographer or if he stumbled and nearly squashed me. Any cat parent knows you always let the cat go first, so we're on Larry's side here. And in the case of felines, the cliche is true. All press is good press.
Well, anyone with a cat knows that they're on a secret mission to accidentally kill you at any point because they're always underfoot. So this is very on brand for cats.
Yes, and I can attest to that. Snickers has nearly killed me on the stairs one too many times. But I think Larry the Cat, the fact that he is making international headlines and is 19 years old and is sassy, there's just so much cuteness to go around there.
There's nothing cozier than a confused cat at a historic and important place, causing chaos. Yeah.
Yeah.
And really just another attack on the free press from the feline variety.
Oh, yeah. Larry's saying fake news.
If you're feeling like you're all left feet and tripping over some cats, my next news story maybe will help you get on the right track for getting into the groove and knowing your steps. Because maybe if you have a New Year's resolution to get fit in 2026 or give yourself a little much needed me time, if you're a mom, you could shake a tail feather at a mom dance party. CNN reports that the events organized by the Moms Feelin' Themselves movement offer moms a way to connect to a non-judgmental community and access a healthy release by absolutely freaking out to Little John. You can go to the Moms Feelin' Themselves website, which we'll link on our show notes, to see the dance party dates and locations. And they're currently touring across the United States. They'll be in Los Angeles on February 7th, Denver on February 20th, Chicago March 14th, Washington, D.C. on May 1st, and we'll soon post dates for San Francisco, Boston, and Philadelphia. And if you're bummed the party isn't coming to your city, you can sign up to be a hype mom to help organize your local community and let the group know your city is ready to boogie.
Well, I love this, Matt, especially in LA when it feels like all these fitness classes are so intimidating. I can attest to that searching for some fitness classes at the start of January of this year. So this seems non-judgmental, fun, and just freewheeling. And I love the phrase hype mom.
Yes, I mean, everything about what they're calling every piece of this is delightful. I think we absolutely need more spaces where people can just relax and release and move around physically without feeling like they're on display. And I feel like even with like watching Instagram Reels or TikTok, there's this growing trend of people recording in gyms
Yeah.
and like all this like pressure put on places where you're trying to get fit. And it's nice to know that there's safer spaces with people who aren't going to put you on the spot like that or have a similar life circumstances their moms. So it's not just that you get to dance and have fun, but you also get to meet people who know what you're going through and can relate to you. And I think that's always very nice.
Yeah, I want phones banned from gyms.
They should be, yeah. It's ridiculous. It's already like a very sensitive place to be, at least for me anyway. I feel like whenever I go to a gym, I'm like, don't look at me. I'm
Yeah,
a work in progress.
exactly.
And so the idea that people have like recording devices that they're like, I'm going to be in the background, like looking like a dweeb.
Yeah, I don't know if I see me hunched over or something.
I'm already feeling self-conscious as being there in
Yeah.
the first place. I don't want cameras to be part of that. So I'll crash a mom dance party. How about that?
Yeah, I think every mom would be accepting of anyone.
Definitely. Well, we're going to dance ourselves over to our topic for today because we have a lot to cover. Before we look ahead, we look back. And we're leveraging Google Trends to see which cozy trends had everyone racing to their keyboards in 2025. So, which types of coziness were people searching for last year? According to Google's year end data, the top 10 related topics and queries for cozy were, and I'm going to go in order from the most searched to the least searched last year. And number one, again, for the third, maybe fourth year. I mean, it's just honestly, it's crazy how many years in a row they've been number one. Cozy Earth. Their bamboo sheets and the new bubble cuddle blanket were breakout stars in the 2025 holiday shopping lists. They've officially moved from a bedding brand to a full-on status symbol of sleep. So I think this probably has something to do with them partnering with us last year.
Oh, absolutely. I don't doubt that. I mean, we skyrocket any company to the top of the charts.
If they're listening, I would love to try a bubble cuddle blanket. Hit us back
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Maybe we can see if we can keep you in the number one spot. But yeah, it's common for the brands to be the top. If you have cozy in your brand name, you're going to come up and search a lot, especially because these are people who are paying for that kind of
Mhm.
thing. So another one would be mom cozy, which slots in at number two here. Now we get into like more of the general cozy trends, and I think this is where things get interesting. So number three for most search terms was cozy games. And that is back from number 11 last year in a big way. I mean, that's a huge upsurge.
Yeah.
Cozy game on, I say. So as a gamer, I'm very happy to see cozy games be high up here in the charts.
And maybe board games too, because you had the sense that board games were going to be a hit. You had that episode idea we did last year. And so who knows? Maybe you're driving that trend.
We are driving that trend, Julian. And I think I have no doubt about it. Actually, what I really think it is more and more mobile games. And even when I go into like the Nintendo Switch store, I can see like all these indie games that are really just meant to be more slow, contemplative. And I think that's driving a lot of the searching here because that genre of game is growing.
Yeah,
And I have more to say
absolutely.
on that later. Number four is a room. So cozy room. Much like last year, cozy room is really focused on interior design. And now we're seeing this new search word attached, which is new to me, called Japandi. And it's this
Mm.
idea of mixing Japanese minimalism and Scandinavian comfort. So like Japan and Scandi.
Oh.
So there's like some trends like that that I think are driving more cozy room searches, but more or less in the same spot. Number five is cozy home. Again, looking at decor, but also I was looking at more related terms, and it looks like people were like cozy home reading nooks, cozy home theaters, which surprised
Oh,
me. I don't
theaters.
know who has the
Okay.
money in this
What
economy to build a.
Rockefellers or yeah.
I know.
Jeez.
Where's my cozy home theater? So anyway, it sounds like we're gonna need some cozy contractors to get these things built. Number six is Cozy Corner. Feels like a mystery to me. I'm a little confused. If listeners, if you know why Cozy Corner is on this list and is trending, let me know. Is it a brand? Is
It's
someone
a
trying to make a Cozy
restaurant too.
Corner? There are a high number of restaurants that are called Cozy Corner, and that might be it. I
Yeah.
think I think that's a very astute observation, Julian. Number seven is Blanket, and that's a slip. You got to watch yourself,
Mm.
Blanket. You were number four last year, and it looks like people were really looking for knitted weighted blankets in 2025. Number eight is Cozy House. Okay, I have nothing else to say on that. Probably fits in with something like Cozy Home. Number nine was Cozy Coop. Vroom Vroom, this toddler toy classic, is still winning the race on
Oh,
cozy
yeah.
kids' toys. That little like red and yellow car that we're
Cute.
Flintstoning, driving around with our feet. Finally, this is an exciting newcomer, Cozy Coffee. And it seems to validate that we're looking for cozy places to have a brew.
Yeah, and I think coffee shops have really upped the game in recent years from combining plant shops to specialty blends. Like, I tried the Luke's coffee, disappointed, but I
When you take
think,
swings, sometimes you don't knock it out of the park.
yeah, absolutely.
You strike out. Speaking of striking out, here are some notable slips off of the top 10. Cottage is off the list. We're at 14. We're out of the cottage. We're into the Japandi urban cozy look. What can we say? There was this like cozy Disney game that was on the list last year. We're moving on to different titles. That game is losing a player base. And Chair also disappeared from our top 10. It seems like we've had plenty of places to sit in 2025.
Wow, I can't believe Cottage fell
I
from
know, right?
grace.
How the
Jeez.
mighty have fallen. It's a brand new day. We're in uncharted waters here in 2026. While there might be some things that are still in motion and we're not really sure where things will land in the new year, we can at least stay in the world of the concrete while we take a look at all the new cozy media and things to look forward to in 2026. And so Jillian and I have picked out some of the movies, TV shows, music, books, and other things that we think look super cozy in the year ahead that we have our eye on and want to share with you. So let's start out with movie. Jillian, what movie looks cozy to you in 2026 that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to The Devil Wears Prada 2, which comes out May 1st. If the teaser clip is any indication of what's to come, this long awaited sequel will have been worth the wait. Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway reunite 20 years later to step into their Manala Blahniks as Miranda Priestley and Andy Sachs, respectively. But this time, as the teaser and synopsis hints, the once unbalanced power dynamic has leveled. As Variety reports, the film follows Priestley as she navigates her career amid the decline of traditional magazine publishing. Been there, girl. Priestley will go up against her former assistant, played by Emily Blunt, who is now a high powered executive for a luxury group with advertising dollars that Priestley desperately needs, the outlet notes. Will Andy join forces with Miranda to save the day? That's TBD, but what's clear is this homecoming for millennials promises to be nothing short of iconic. Anne Hathaway also looks amazing. When the teaser clip dropped, I think it was a few months ago, people were just gaga over her. Nothing has changed. She's a vampire, so is Meryl. I'm just excited to see if this really delivers, and I think it will. Like I said, I have high hopes.
I'm so excited about this. The original is such a classic. It's so cozy and fun to watch. I mean, we're still seeing memes
Yes.
of clips from the movie today, and I cannot wait to see everyone reunited. The plot sounds actually really interesting and timely, so I'm super, super excited for The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yeah, May can't come soon enough.
Well, on the topic of highly anticipated sequels with not very inventive sequel titles,
Yeah, right.
I'm looking forward to Practical Magic 2. So Practical Magic 2 is fittingly coming out in the autumn. It'll be released in September on the 18th. Get ready to bust out the midnight margaritas and hang on to your husbands because the Owen sisters are ready to cast another spell. So this sequel is based on the follow-up novel to the original, Alice Hoffman's The Book of Magic. And Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman, Stockard Channing, and Diane Weist will all reprise their roles from the first film. So, except for Evan Rachel Wood, who will not reprise her role and was not asked to, and that has caused some drama before we even get to
Mm.
the movie. They've already wrapped filming. They wrapped filming in September of 2025. So, it's in the can, it's getting edited, and it'll come out soon. So, looking forward to dancing around with my margarita in September.
I think this calls for an pick viewing. We need to
Yeah,
go.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And you know
nothing
they're gonna have a
short.
tie-in drink.
Yeah, I cannot wait. We definitely need to get some mozzarella sticks. All the things are free popcorn. They'll hate to see us coming.
Whatever happened to like adding more interesting titles to sequels? Like, what happened to Home Alone: Lost in New York? Why is it just two? Hocus Pocus 2, Practical Magic 2.
Yeah, I think you need to get in there. Maybe that's a new side hustle for you, helping these folks come up with inventive sequel
I
titles.
think it's all just marketing because it's just easy to market something with the same title and like a slight change, but it is what it is. I just feel like we can do a little better, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like meh, meh. Okay.
All right, let's transition our focus to the small screen. Jillian, what's going to be on TV that you're excited to watch?
Well, Matthew Rhys is one of my favorite actors, and I would follow him anywhere, even to a cursed New England town eerily named Widow's Bay, which is the name of this new horror comedy series from Apple TV. The streamer's press office teases Widow's Bay is a quaint island town 40 miles off the coast of New England, but something lurks beneath the surface. Mayor Tom Loftus, played by Matthew, is desperate to revive his struggling community. There's no Wi Fi, spotty cellular reception, and he must contend with superstitious locals who believe their island is cursed. He wants these people to respect him. They don't. They think he is soft and cowardly, and he is. But Loftus is determined to build a better future for his teenage son and turn the island into a tourist destination. Miraculously, he succeeds. Tourists are finally coming. Unfortunately, the locals were right. After decades of calm, the old stories that seemed too ludicrous to be true start happening again. And after seeing The Beast in Me, I have no doubt that Matthew will be able to effortlessly blend creepiness with comedy, and I'm ready to cozy up to this mysterious seaside town, ghostliness and all. Bonus is Kate Lippold, who wrote some of the best Parks and Recreation episodes, is involved in the project. So I will be missing the eeriness of fall come spring when it debuts on April 29th. So this is a perfect antidote to that.
I love a horror comedy. Those can be so cozy in and of themselves. So this looks like a really
Yes.
moody, like even just the trailer, the way it's lit, it looks like it's going to be very cozy, despite being a little spooky too.
I think the vibes are good with this one.
Moving away from prestige TV and into sitcom fare, I guess 2026 for me is a nostalgic look at a lot of like reboots. So I'm excited to watch Malcolm in the Middle, Life's Still Unfair on Hulu or Disney Plus, and that's coming out on April 10th. And in this 4-part miniseries, the cast of Malcolm in the Middle returns after 19 years. So a similar length of time for The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
They're going back for more familial chaos and hijinks, except for the actor who played Dewey, who opted on his own, not like Evan Rachel Wood, to not return. And the plot of this sort of limited series, which I think is also interesting because that kind of makes me excited and a little more confident in this, that they were like, we're just going to do 4 episodes and we're going to keep it
Right.
tight and see how this goes. I was obsessed with Malcolm in the Middle as a kid. I watched it religiously. It's so funny. I mean, like,
So funny.
even just the focus on like a middle class family in the comedy and like homes and lives that look similar to my upbringing was always so great to see. Or like Roseanne, The Middle. I'm looking forward to that kind of vibe again. And this one centers on Malcolm, of course, who is shielding himself from his family for over a decade and is dragged back into their orbit when Hal and Lois, his parents, demand his presence at their 40th anniversary party.
Oh, I can't wait. I've been seeing a lot of throwback clips on my Instagram feed, and I forgot also how, like you said, it's a hilarious show, but it also is a really intelligent show too.
Yeah.
The topics they tackled, and I love Bryan Cranston's chemistry with the kids, and there's just so much to love about it. So when I saw it, you picked this one, I was a little jealous because it's the perfect pick, and I can't wait to watch it too. I think it's going to be good because, like you said, 4 episodes keeps it tight, not a lot of room for error. They're not going all in on it. Like with the
Mhm.
Frasier, they went too hard into it. I think if they did something like this and made it a limited release, they might have had a little bit more success with the reboot of Frasier.
Right, because you're not looking to necessarily introduce new characters that can continue the
Mhm.
legacy, or you're not like really trying to extend the life so much farther. You're actually just trying to revisit the characters and see where would they be after 20 years from when we
Right.
left off.
I'm still disappointed about the Frasier reboot, but
Let's not go into that trauma.
yeah, no, yeah, it's not.
We're going to go la 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 and cover our ears as we check out the new tunes that are coming out in 2026. Jillian, what are you looking forward to playing on heavy rotation in the new year?
Well, we need some fun injected into our veins, Matt, and I think Harry Styles is the man for the job. 4 years after Harry's House, the singer is back with a new album that promises 12 tracks. And that's all we know about the project as of now, but the pre-released album cover of Harry standing underneath a disco ball in a t-shirt and jeans suggests we're in for a year of pop-encrusted hits. And it debuts on March 6th, and the album is called Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. Sounds like a ball of fun. Sign me up.
That title is doing the most, but I love the art for it. Harry Styles is really living in like a retro vibe with his solo career, and
Mhm.
this is definitely no exception to that.
Yeah, it's a year for pop, I think, because we have, not to harp on Hillary Duff's return, we have Hillary Duff coming back. We have Ashley Simpson. We have all the girlies. Now we have Harry. So I think it's going to be a good year for pop. And we all need some just like fun, easy listening.
While you're listening to pop and amping it up a little bit, I'm looking to calm it down with the new Lana Del Rey album, which is going to be called Stove, or at least that's what they're saying now. She's changed the name of this album. This is the third iterative title, but it looks like it's gonna stay Stove by Lana Del Rey. We'll see. Whatever Lana Del Rey's new album is called, we can expect that to maybe be here as early as the end of January, but you never know with music releases. They're very touch and go. And so the vibe behind this new album is that now that she's living on the bayou, Lana Del Rey is going country with her upcoming album. She's already released 2 stripped back songs, Bluebird and Henry Come On, which is especially pretty, I think. And she said that when she was reflecting on her original hits like Video Games and thinking about how they kind of have a country bent to them. So she's trying to bring almost what she came on the scene with, a little bit more of that country flavor. So I'm really excited to see what that turns out to sound like. So my pick for music would be Stove, again, what it's called right now, the upcoming album by Lana Del Rey.
This is a fabulous pick, and I'm super excited because my partner just discovered Lana Del Rey. She's just has been playing Lana nonstop for the past few months, and when I wake up, I hear it. Before I go to sleep, I hear it. And I
It's a
said,
very
"How?"
LA vibe, so very fitting.
Said, "How about we try like maybe like a new album, or let's go to a
Mhm.
different era?" So I'm excited that this is coming out because hopefully I can have a little variety in my Lana Del Rey listening in my own.
Lana's so good, especially her latest music, at painting a picture. Her songs are almost filmic in the stories that she's telling, and they can sometimes feel a little heavy. So I can kind of get like, you're ready to move on to something a little bit more light and frothy, like a Harry Styles record after daily Lana Del Rey music.
But yeah, I love this new period of Lana's life. Her wedding photos in the bayou, that was just a whole aesthetic and vibe in of itself. So I hope she brings a lot of that into the album. I'm excited for this change.
Yeah, and apparently her husband, who does Bayou tours, you could even book him if you are so
Wow.
inclined. So if you want to get close to the source, you can take a tour of the Bayou with her beau. And when you take that trip, you'll need something to read on the plane. Jillian, when you're going to the bookstore, what are you looking forward to seeing on your shelf in 2026?
After falling in love with Sangu Mandana's A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, I only want to spend time in magical and cozy inns going forward. So enter YA novel The Faraway Inn by Sarah Beth Durst. As the publisher writes, when 16-year-old Kalisa arrives at her great aunt's B&B for the summer, she's shocked to find a rundown inn rather than the cozy bed and breakfast she was expecting. Grumpy and eccentric, Auntie Z is determined to keep anyone from messing with her beloved inn, even though she clearly needs the help. To convince her great aunt to keep her around, Kalisa sets to work fixing up the inn, enlisting extra help from the groundskeeper's handsome son. But the longer she stays, the surer she is that there's something strange about the B&B and its residents. Something almost otherworldly. The inn is hiding a magical secret, but the secrets are like doors. Once Kalisa opens this one, she won't be able to go back. So to add another layer of coziness, the cover for this is stunning.
It really is. I was about to say, like, also that it has the sprayed edges too that extend this
Oh
like
my
beautiful
god.
motif of black, purple, and pink and green. It's really pretty.
It's so beautiful. So even if you're just going to put it on your shelf, that's enough reason to buy it. And also, Beth Durst has some cred as the author of The Spell Shop. So if you like The Spell Shop, you're probably going to like this. And unsurprisingly, this new book is already getting a lot of buzz from cozies on Reddit. So sign me up, book me a room at the Faraway Inn. Comes out March 31st.
Yeah, and this sounds like it could be an excellent pick for a cozy book club.
Yeah, totally. After the magical innkeeping, we just need to keep up this trend because there's
Yeah.
something about these magical inns.
Time to check in.
Yeah.
Ding ding. My pick for the book that I'm looking forward to this year is a little less cozy, but it's by an author that we both love. I'm just going to mention it because I'm genuinely excited about it, and it might not fit into our cozy definition, but I do still find this author to be very cozy a lot of the time. This is the book Vigil by George Saunders, who's very famous for writing short stories like The 10th of December, Liberation Day, and has only written one novel prior to this point, Lincoln in the Bardo, which won a Cozy Award,
Yes.
by the way. So I guess he does have some cozy cred here. This new book by George Saunders, again, Vigil, is coming out January 27th, so very soon. We haven't had a George Saunders novel since 2017, so it's been almost 10 years. Also, George Saunders, if you haven't read any of his work, is so playful and inventive with language, and it brings out so many incredible images. And I can't wait to see what he's cooked up. This novel centers on this character named Jill Blaine, who finds herself hurtling toward Earth. And as she comes together, falling onto Earth and her black pumps are on, she has to do her job, which is to usher another soul into the afterlife. And she finds herself in the ornate mansion of a tycoon named KJ Boone. And while she's performed this sacred duty almost 350 times since her own death, generally speaking, she finds that her charges are comforted in their final moments. But when she goes to this guy's deathbed, he will not be consoled because he has nothing to regret. He says he's lived a big, bold, epic life, and the world is better for it. Isn't it? Question mark. So we're ushering this like tycoon into the afterlife. This reminds me a little bit of like Citizen Kane. And so this is probably going to have some commentary on class and capitalism and spirituality, of course. So looking forward to reading the new George Saunders novel, Vigil.
Yeah, this is a great pick, Matt. I think you said it really well when you described his writing as playful and inventive, because no matter the topic, even if it's a little bit heavier or darker, he always manages to have like an upbeat sensibility to his views and writing. And I hope that we can go see him again because now we've seen him twice.
That's right. We saw George at the LA Festival of Books. We talked to him. He signed our Lincoln in the
Signed.
Bardo.
So exciting. Yeah.
He was very kind.
Yeah. And he was a wonderful speaker. And I think there's like a lot of laughs. And
Yeah, he's
he
really
just knows
funny.
how to keep things lively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's liven it up ourselves with our wild card area like that we're looking forward to. This is just any other thing that doesn't fit into those other topics that we're looking forward to in 2026. What is that for you, Jillian?
Well, I'm really excited that Meow Wolf is coming to LA sometime in late 2026. And if you're not familiar with Meow Wolf, it's an immersive art experience based on a specific story or narrative thread. And each space has many rooms and nooks designed by individual artists. So although the story remains intact throughout the experience, no room is alike. It's an escapist fever dream, and the feeling of being a Meow Wolf reminds me of what it felt like watching Ferngully as a kid. I'm just swept away into all the imagination and fantasy. I've been to the Vegas location and the Denver location, so super excited to see this one. And although the information is scanned, Meow Wolf revealed via its website that it is taking over a vacant movie theater, so a real life vacant movie theater complex, and is going to fully embrace the spot's cinematic roots. So I imagine this landscape is going to be very Hollywood movie themed. And what's really neat about Meow Wolf is that when you go into the space, it's always this unassuming entrance. So in Denver, you took an elevator down to this like almost intergalactic space station world. Then in Las Vegas, they made like a fake grocery store and you open a fridge door, freezer door, and then you're in this immersive world. And there's just so much to explore. And like I said, each individual artist gets to put their spin on it. So you get to see all these creative and unique takes on this narrative. And the Denver one was super, super, super cool. And just, I just like escaping into a dream and going at your own pace and finding each space that you like and that speaks to you. And it's just so neat. You can spend hours in there, and each space has a bar with little snacks and themed drinks, which can be really fun too. So I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, I wonder what theater complex they're going to be in. I'm looking forward to this. I really loved going to Meow Wolf in Santa Fe. We had a great time.
Yeah, that's my dream to go to that
And
one.
I love that it's going to be like movie themed, but I'm also scared they're going to take over ArcLight, the Cinerama Dome, because I want that just to be reopened
So yes,
as an
no, that
actual
would be a
functional
dream.
theater.
I've seen rumblings that it's in West LA,
Okay.
so I think the ArcLight is safe.
Okay. Phew. All right. Okay. Just looking forward to this. This is a great pick. Very exciting.
Yeah.
For me, at the risk of picking another in development video game, in fact, I am still waiting for Jurassic Park Survival 2 years after making it one of my anticipated releases of 2024. If you are at all associated with the game Jurassic Park Survival, please pick up the pace. I really want to play this game. Please come out with it already. But this video game that's going to come out sounds too cozy not to mention, and it's called Mixtape. They don't have a firm release date, so we're just hoping. It's a wish and a prayer for this game to come out on time. But it's a hand-drawn, music-driven adventure about 3 teenagers on their last night of high school, reliving memories through a literal mixtape that features Joy Division, The Cure, and my favorite, The Smashing Pumpkins, plus many more. So it's basically the playable version of a nostalgic coming-of-age film. If you watch the gameplay trailer that I've added to our episode description, you can see some of the sights, and it includes like characters skateboarding in autumn with like leaves flying around you, like a beautifully lit sunrise or whatever. It's like very pretty. I'm so excited to play Mixtape, and I hope that it comes out on time.
I think this game was made for you, and it sounds so, so cozy. I love how the name is so simple but evocative. Like when you
Yeah.
I'm excited for this myself after hearing about it. So, like you said, hopefully it comes out on time.
I really love this era of indie game development that we're in, where there's a space for games to come out that basically feel like indie films, and they're just
Mhm.
hyper focused to kind of have a cool, unique gameplay perspective, and they're not looking to like be like the next big graphic thing or a huge sprawling story or gameplay. They're just like hoping to deliver like an intimate story, and I think that's something super exciting. And it looks like Mixtape is going to do that very well.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, here's where we go into the unknown. Now that we've talked about the actual things in 2026 that will happen, or at least we hope will happen when it comes to some of our tentative things like Lana Del Rey albums and video games, we're really going to go into more bold predictions for the year ahead. Before we go into what Jillian and I are predicting will happen in the realm of coziness in 2026, we first have to grade our performance on 2025. This is a sobering part of our episode every year where we look at just how on the pulse of coziness we are. I'll kick it off with my first prediction, just like how accurate it was. And I guess I'm going to go into it because I'm excited because I got something right for once. So, my first prediction was that libraries will see an uptick in their use both physically and digitally. And that was because of the economy getting rougher and the need for third places that aren't just work or home, and also kind of off the back of there being a noticeable surge in 2024 and hoping that trend will continue. And it did. So, according to the 2025 Urban Libraries Council's Library Insights report, libraries saw about a 10% increase in visitors last year. And on the topic of third places in particular, library room reservations were up 25%. And the demand for digital resources, because I was looking for that too, went up almost 15%. So we are on the trend with libraries. They are continuing to grow and their use is expanding. Very excited to see that. They're so important for the community. And I'm very happy that this was a prediction that came true.
I'm impressed that you have the stats to back it up.
You got to have
Can't
the stats
argue
to
with the
back it up.
numbers. Can't argue with those numbers.
We're not jokers here. We're backing up with hard science.
I didn't even know that through the library. I forgot what streaming service it's called, but you can access Hallmark movies through it.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was trying to watch the Cat Cafe Christmas, and I didn't realize that the Pasadena library card doesn't access this program yet. So I lost my LA library card, so I called the LA library desperately trying to get this code so I could get watch Cat Cafe Christmas for free.
Is it called Canopy?
No, Hoopla.
Hoopla. Okay.
You get free access to it in certain areas. LA, you can do it. Has reached Pasadena, but not South Pass, and that's where my library card that I use now is. So
I love how much you can get through your library card. It's incredible, including like discounts to museums or sometimes even
mhm,
free access to those things. So always check out to see what other services your library card unlocks. You'll be surprised.
absolutely. My first prediction from last year, tea rooms, they were going to explode because Gen Z is super sober and afternoon teas are so cute and delightful. Who wouldn't want to do an afternoon tea? And then also my Lyft driver who tipped me
And
off.
and you know they know what's going on because they're driving every type of person all across the city. So
Right. Got me onto the afternoon teas. Now they're popping up across the city. And I don't have any stats or science to back me up. The only stat is I have that we attended a lovely tea ourselves at the Peninsula Beverly Hills this past year. And it was one of our favorite outings of 2025. I don't want to speak for you, but I am because I think we have both had a fabulous
yeah, it was
time.
great. Loved it.
And we can both attest that the place was packed and I had to get a reservation a month in advance. And so at another place, I tried to get a reservation at the Huntington Gardens. I couldn't even get a reservation there for the tea. So I think it speaks for itself that people are loving afternoon teas and that trend will continue on. I give myself a check for that.
I think so. I think that anecdotal evidence is strong enough, and
Yes.
we absolutely had a blast in the tea room. Like the amount of delicious cakes and pastries and just little snacks. It was truly incredible. And also it's kind of amazing like how fast you can fill up on little things like that. We're monsters, so we were expecting like, oh, we're gonna destroy those like three-tiered plates in no time. But you know what? They defeated us. We were taking home lots of leftovers after our experience.
It was just nice to get dressed up a little bit and have a little day date somewhere because, oh, there's so many cool places in LA I don't explore enough, so it was a lot of fun.
100%. My second prediction of 2025 was a social media shakeup. I was thinking, okay, we're going to go away from algorithms that have alienated us, and we're going to dive into more of a true chronological feed. And I'm going to give myself like a sort of came true prediction on this one, and mostly not, though. I think it's kind of in between because Blue Sky emerged as an anti algorithm sanctuary in 2025. It did really rapidly expand across 40 million users by the end of the year. But when you look at it in the context of the social media landscape, that's very small. For perspective, Facebook and Instagram have 3 billion users. TikTok has 1.5 billion users. And Blue Sky's biggest analog, X, still has 650 million users. So while things might be cozier at Blue Sky, they're also, from my own experience too, extremely quiet. And that's cozy, but it's also like you're on social media to be social, and you do kind of need more people there to like be there with you and make the platform lively and thriving. And so I think the truth is that the social media landscape still remains largely the same, but there was this emergence of at least one platform that was trying to do something different. So I'm going to give myself partial credit on this one.
And I see outlets citing Blue Sky, like people writing from there, quoting Blue Sky messages. What do you call them?
Posts.
Posts, yeah, posts. So I think you're absolutely right that it did see a little bit of a bump. And I think once folks start to maybe just have the energy to move over platforms or remember that they're still on Twitter, it could see another bump. I think it still has some time to go. I think it's a slow burn, but I think it's getting there.
We'll see how things shake out, but it would be nice if we saw something return to a little less like AI generated algorithms to capture exactly what you want to see, because we're missing so much of what we could be exposed to that shakes up our perspective or helps us grow instead of staying in the same like niche that we're always in. Again, that's in progress, let's say.
Yes.
Jillian, what was your second prediction?
I predicted that a lot of famous ladies would break free of relationships that no longer serve them. Not that I know these people.
Nothing cozier than a divorce.
Yes. I was just seeing a lot of over 40 folks in Hollywood who were having fun on screen, dumping their hubbies. And like Matt joked, I'm not relishing in any divorces, but I think sometimes it's a little scary for folks who are maybe in like a different stage of their lives to, leave a marriage that's been long term and be single out there in Hollywood. It can be like a little bit dicey and there's like all this negative commentary and whatnot, but to just do their own thing. And the person who did that this year, Nicole Kidman,
Did we get any memeable like relief content yet of her walking out of from her attorney's office?
we know that she'll never have to sit through another CMAs or AMC's award show again, which is actually sad for us because that was the only reason why we got any clicks through my work with coverage. Nicole showing up to these awards. That's a little bit sad for us. But happy for her that she doesn't have to attend the red carpet with him again and she can let the wigs fly. She's booked and busy. She's in a billion TV shows this year, some of which I almost picked as my picks for 2026. And then an honorable mention goes to Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Candy Burris, who is such a powerhouse, so talented. And I'm confident she'll finally secure long-awaited EGOT now that her ex-husband Todd Tucker is in the rear view. They announced their divorce late 2025, and he was really riding her coattails, sucking her energy. So I'm super excited for Candy. Go Candy.
So last year was the year of the snake, which I guess was about like shedding old things.
Mm.
And this is the year of the horse, which is apparently associated with freedom. So we're seeing the shedding had occurred in 2025.
Yes, absolutely.
Now we're riding free.
Yeah, Nicole shedded Keith's I know blonde tips. She's ready to rumble.
So my third prediction for 2025 was that there would be new Enya music. This was a big swing. I was really banking on the fact that it had been 10 years since she released her last album. It would have been like 30 years since like her first. In general, she does love releasing new music in years that end in 0 or 5. So I was thinking this could be the time for some new Enya music, but this was a heartbreaking miss. In fact, we got farther than ever from new Enya music in 2025 with the passing of her longtime producer and dear friend, Nikki Ryan, who passed in September. And she met Nikki when she was touring with her family's singing group, Clannad, in 1980. his and his wife Roma's collaboration with Enya is what led to their creation of creating a wall of sound, like a Phil Spector inspired approach to music, but doing that with more meditative sounds, layered vocals. It's funny, actually, I was watching an old CBS Sunday Morning interview with Enya from 2001 where she's talking about her process with Nikki Ryan, and he's interviewed too, like as her producer. And the interviewer is like, I guess you'll save a lot of money with the fact that you don't have to pay for a chorus to sing all these different vocals. And they're like, well, it does actually take us way more time to record every single harmony just with Enya doing
Yeah.
it. So it's like, this is about their art and expression. It's not about saving money. But I guess you say what you got to say, and sometimes in those contexts. So it does look like, sadly, 2025 may have been the end of Enya as we've known it. But fans are hopeful that maybe within the last decade, there have been new tracks put down by this trio, and maybe we'll release some of those unreleased songs and like maybe a final farewell album. That's kind of what the community is hoping for at the very least. So sad news in the world of new age music and Enya.
Well, Matt, I tip my hat to you for going for a big swing. I think my predictions sometimes play it safe, and the fact that you tried to manifest Enya is admirable.
Instead, I manifested doom.
Yeah, I guess so. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe there's a new bright chapter for Enya somewhere, and
Yes.
let's hope.
Who can say only time?
My prediction that I think will last the test of time, sheet cakes. So last year I predicted that all of those fancy, tiered, over-decorated cakes that are sparkly, all jazzed up, which honestly I do love, so I don't want to be a little hater on them, but I wanted something a little bit more simple. And I saw that trend was popping up of just simple sheet cakes that are really cute and pretty and sweet. And this, I think, stayed true in 2025. So if you were ever on Instagram looking at cake shots,
Excuse me? That's personal.
I don't know, a lot of cakes pop up in my feed. I don't know why.
I bet they do.
Stop. I just set myself up for that one. I saw a lot of, I'm not even going to say, I can't do this anymore. Anyway, Trader Joe's arguably did the trend best, offering mini sheet cakes in flavors from pumpkin spice all the way to a classic yellow. And these tiny desserts exploded in popularity with food outlets across the board publishing individual rankings. So I think the sheet cake trend will continue in 2026 as Brides published an article in early January about the new sheet cake styles for the upcoming wedding season. So if you wanted to banish sheet cakes to the garbage bin, this is not your year. They're still in style. So may the cakes be popping on your Instagram feed.
That's right. You were bang on with this one, Jillian. As you know, I do try a lot of Trader Joe's things. Those mini sheet cakes, they are delightful. They're so moist. I was blown away by the pumpkin spice one. I couldn't believe it. It has like that cream cheese frosting. It was so good.
Oh yeah. I mean, Trader Joe's gets it right a lot of times, and
As do you. You're 3 for 3. I'm sitting over here with a 50% success rate at best, and you're like 100% over here.
well, I don't know about my predictions for this year because I don't know. It's really hard for me this year, but we'll see how it shakes out. But
Nostradamus Walters over here. All right.
oh yeah.
We need to start asking you some more serious questions for what we should be looking for in 2026. And on that note, here we go. We're going to reveal our cozy predictions for 2026. My first prediction, brace yourself. This one actually is kind of safe because it's based on some current trends. And that is a rise in an analog lifestyle as more and more people choose to have a digital detox. Because really, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And with the rise of AI everything having an app and screens everywhere, I think we'll see even more options for single use technology of items that remove a screen or take away internet connectivity and scale it back to what it was prior to the smartphone revolution. So, for example, one of my friends was showing us this screenless digital camera that he got for Christmas and was taking photos of us. I'm not going to lie, the output was not impressive per se, but clearly the fact that he received that gift and was excited to have it shows that there's an interest. And I actually saw those cameras at the airport. So I'm seeing them in the wild. So there seems to be quite a trend for digital tools that take away the distractions. In fact, if you pre-order Harry Styles' new album, which I'm sure, Jillian, you already have,
Oh
you can get
yeah.
a bundle. I think it's already sold out, this bundle, but one of the bundles includes a 35 millimeter camera. So retro tech is definitely in. And I think we'll see an increase in people using things like dumb phones, digital typewriters, and even things like Aura rings that use technology to track fitness without those screens.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've seen a little bit of that trend, like how in maybe the MySpace era, we're always using those digital cameras in that style.
Mhm.
I see that resurging, so I think you're absolutely right.
It's funny, people are, like, recreating that style either by using really cheap digital cameras that take it back to, like, as if it were shot on a Nokia, but it's almost for the aesthetic reason of it, like, it's looking retro as, like and it's funny to think about our, like, 2 megapixel photos as being the blueprint for some sort of aesthetic when at the time we were like, "Oh, we look so fuzzy."
Yeah, I don't think I benefited from that style back in the day. I don't know, like, when looking back on those digital cameras, they're not very forgiving, but maybe that's part of the trend. It's like really embracing no filters or just going for it.
Yeah, just, like, getting back to, like, the heart of it, and I've taken to using my streaming music services a little less in favor of music downloaded directly to my device, which I'm still using, like, a smartphone in that case, but I really do notice the difference in sound quality when I go to my tracks that I have on my device that I download from, like, high quality MP3s versus what's been compressed for a streaming service. Especially, like, when I'm driving in my car and I play, like, those songs, I'm like, "Whoa, I can really hear every instrument," versus how much it's compressed in Spotify. And there are a lot of, like, high fidelity audio players on the market now to store and play music with superior sound quality, so there's it's not just that you're always regressing when you go into this kind of more analog digital detox, sometimes it's in order to make that thing a higher quality.
Yeah, I think this prediction's spot on.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't have a great track record, but you do. So, Jillian, what is your first prediction for 2026?
Well, in 2025, reading retreats became a major travel trend. And so that's just a stylish and often expensive way for small groups to bond over books in dreamy locales. So you pay money to go with a group of people and you read books together, or you might read one book. There's like a read aloud thing. Like I said, against the backdrop of luxurious hotel or maybe just a woodsy Catskills kind of thing. But for those who can't or don't want to spend a pretty penny traveling, there's an alternative that I'm predicting: virtual readathons. And while we usually think of a readathon as a library exercise for kids, often with free pizza as a reward, I think they can also be reimagined for adults. So maybe like minded groups could dedicate a Saturday to reading together online or creating a shared literary experience without the cost of a retreat. I predict we'll see hackathon style events minus the stress with a literary twist popping up. I could be willing it into existence, and perhaps there's already a bunch of virtual readathons for 30-plus-year-old ladies like myself that I'm not invited to. But I think that'd be a cool way to maybe have like the alternate to not spending money to go to a reading retreat. I would love to, but I just don't think that's in my wheelhouse of finances.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So it's almost like the intentionality of getting online with other people really forces you to sit down and it's almost like you're using digital tools in order to focus, right, on something that's more analog, like a book. So it's kind of like another way of doing what my prediction was, but like actually more in a tech supported way. That's really interesting. I'm excited to see if this happens and excited to hear if you try one of these out, what it felt like.
Yes, I think there's in-person things like this now that I think about it a little bit. We're like, "Oh, let's just all read together to motivate each other," like a writing group or something like that. But I think if you do it virtually, you can just include so many more other people, and maybe you can add some vibes to it that maybe a limited physical space wouldn't allow for. So, yeah, we'll see.
That's really cool. Excited to see how that one turns out. My second prediction on the topic of going back to basics, I'm thinking we might also go back to basics musically with a resurgence of popular, and I emphasize popular acoustic music. I know there's plenty of acoustic music out there, folk music, but I'm thinking of stuff that's really in the pop culture. So, thinking of the Lana Del Rey country album that will soon be released, along with the likely release of new Phoebe Bridgers music and Olivia Rodrigo teasing that she's experimenting with music that feels more, in her words, mature and less overproduced. I'm thinking that we'll get a little bit more acoustic, stripped back music. For example, looking at the data, in 2025, there were only about 5 songs of roughly 500 that cracked the Billboard 100 that relied on acoustic instrumentation, such as Zach Bryan's Something in the Orange, Taylor Swift's acoustic version of The Fate of Ophelia, which actually hit #1. And I'll even include songs like Ordinary by Alex Warren, which It does swell into a much larger, big sound, but it does start stark with like a more basic instrumentation. So I'm going to count it. I'm even trying to expand my definition, and I can only come up with five. So I'm going to call this prediction of win if we go from five acoustic songs in the top 100 to 10 in 2026. So it's a database prediction.
I love a database prediction, and that's really interesting data. The fact that only 5 acoustic songs, you said?
Yeah,
Just 5?
that are really focused like on. It's obviously there are more that involve the use of acoustic guitars or whatever, but like really were a simple sound that were popular.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a trend I would like to see, and I think we were definitely in a period of maximalism,
Hmm.
so everything has to fall back and cycle around, so I could definitely see this coming to fruition, especially with artists, like you noted, had a lot of buzz and maybe just wanna get back to basics. I'm always up for some good acoustic music, so hopefully that will come true.
And yeah, maybe we'll start seeing YouTube Unplugged
Oh, there you
posts.
go.
Who knows? Jillian, what is your second prediction of 2026?
For Christmas, my sister gifted me the iconic Pretty Princess board game, which I discussed in our Cozy Games episode. And what's interesting is she didn't buy it off of eBay. The game was re released, complete with the original artwork and pieces, in October 2025. And you can now buy it at stores like Barnes and Noble. And my sister noted it was difficult to snag, and it could have just been because it's before Christmas, or maybe because people were really super excited to dress up as princesses again, wear those rings, not get the black ring. And I predict, based on that, that more popular 90s games will see re releases. And I'm not talking about reimagined versions, I mean the real deal. And so I'm begging someone to re release 1994's Enchanted Palace. So you could tell I'm really in the Princess Palace theme, which has the coziest game pieces, complete with a magic wand, to help players save a good witch from an evil one. And this game even has some iconic cackling in it. I love
Sold.
this game. Yeah, we got to play this together. And
We
I'm
do.
also going to have to invite you over for some Pretty Princess cuz now I have that. But yeah, I could totally see all of those 90s games not getting those weird, cuz you know what I'm talking about, like when they want to re-release
Oh yeah, and
something
they do
but
new
just
art that's
new
odd or
art
yeah.
that's weird. Like I don't want any of that. And so just to see Pretty Princess back in true form again was super cool. And I imagine there's a lot of other millennials like me who want to play the OG games.
Yes, I totally agree. And I'm so excited. And I hope that this comes true and we get to play a remade Enchanted Palace together.
Yes.
I'm rooting for you on that one.
Thank you.
I don't know why I said that. Like for all of them I am, but that one's like especially exciting to me. All right, here's my final prediction of what I think will happen in the world of coziness in 2026. And this is informed by the new Superman movie helping to spark a growing trend that folks are labeling hashtag hopecore. Think of it as the opposite of a doom scroll, where your feed is full of short clips of kindness, nature, and meditation. I'm even seeing articles emerge like the 10 best hopecore movies ranked. And okay, this almost just sounds like it's a change in semantics a little bit. Like now we're just calling movies that inspire us and make us feel hope as hopecore. But my hopeful prediction is that we'll see more hope and kindness on our social media feeds. If we can't change the landscape, at least we can make it better where we are in 2026. And I hope this does better than my ill-fated detective core prediction.
Oh man, Detective Core. That one really should have popped off.
It really should have.
That's a
We didn't
crime.
get to wear like our little Sherlock Holmes hats like I thought we would.
Damn, maybe we'll wear our capes then.
Jillian, take us home. What's your final prediction for us going into 2026?
I'm sure you've seen the 2016 flashback trend on Instagram, and I think a lot of styles from that era will make a comeback, and that's including oversized bags. So I love a bag big enough to dwarf the Olsen sisters, who are the OG trendsetters of the oversized bag, because I can throw all of my junk in there with abandon. If it doesn't take me more than 5 minutes to find my wallet or chapstick, I don't want it. Right now, I've been wearing this small, it's like a messenger bag, but it's almost like a fanny pack. And I'm like, why am I wearing this? It's just not my aesthetic. I need like a big bag, a cute big bag that I can throw things in. And I find that cozy because I don't have to think about it. Just dump it all in there. I can carry all of my little knickknacks, my potions, everything. And so I want to see some of that 2016 aesthetic. I personally, with the 2016 flashback, feel traumatized, but But I like that style back then. It was just, like, really fun, and so I will take an oversized bag.
I agree with you. I've noticed too, like the trend of like Trader Joe's bags, right? Getting in there and they're
Mhm.
releasing these like new smaller versions that are for just like walking around with. And they're so small. What can you fit in there? You can barely fit any of your groceries in it. What do you put in your phone and your wallet and calling it a day? Like I got more
Right.
stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no, the bags got so, so tiny in these last few years, and I can't do it. I need my things, and I think sometimes clutter can be cozy, and I like to carry my clutter around, so,
We're gonna need a bigger bag.
yes.
Well, that was a lot of thinking about last year and looking at the year ahead and doing some bold predictions that we'll check in with a year from now. Let's transition from watching the stars and charting the future to watch some wicks with our scented candle review. This week, I have the candle. Listeners know that I love myself a budget candle. I have a tendency maybe to too much share some Trader Joe's candles on the show, which is accessible, but also we also like the finer things here at All Things Cozy. We want to try out some of the more elite options. And so I thought, okay, so in 2026, let's start off with something that can help us sage out the bad energy and bring in some fresh air, and maybe with a luxury candle that can help bring in a year of elegance and success. And so I was thinking about like what luxury candles haven't we talked about on the show before? And we really haven't ever reviewed, for real, a Joe Malone candle.
Wow, I can't believe that.
And I'm actually not that well versed in Joe Malone. I was sitting on the luxury candle Reddit, and sort of like,
Mm,
what are these people buying? I don't know. They're not part of my world. But we have our wonderful All Things Cozy patrons, and they make it possible for us to really go
yes.
into some nicer candles. And so we want to honor also the contributions and make sure your money is doing the work for you to review some of these things. And so off I went to Nordstrom, based off of the recommendation of Reddit for Joe Malone, who I guess is like it's a London-based like fragrance
Mhm.
designer. Are you familiar with Joe Malone at all?
Yes, I have seen the candles pop up in, like, a Nordstrom or things like that. I've even seen them in airports, like, "Oh, this is, like, a last minute fancy gift to pick up for someone."
Well, on that note, I have a travel candle because it's all I was really willing to
Oh,
spend on because it's basically a $40 votive. The
it's
normal
expensive.
size candle, what you would think of like a normal scented candle, costs $82.
That's unhinged.
So this is a $40 travel candle. I went with my husband because I really do also like to make sure that we're buying something that we agree is something we want to smell in our house, and especially when you're spending that much money. So we settled on wood sage and sea salt. And it's described as filling the room with the freshness of the British coast, the air invigorated with sea salt and the mineral scent of rugged cliffs. Discover wood sage and sea salt, a luxury candle crafted in the British countryside in a signature glass design. And I guess everything Joe Malone, like it's like all this black ribbons is like their
Oh,
like
yeah.
thing. It reminded me of the scene from Love Actually where Alan Rickman's trying to get a piece of jewelry for his secretary and trying to like it's a sad scene trying to get it like under the nose of his wife when they're shopping. Rowan Atkinson keeps throwing things into the packaging. Is like, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet?" And I felt the same way when the guy at Nordstrom took the candle, this little candle that's like truly the size of a shot glass, and proceeds to put it in a box, tie a ribbon around the box, put the box in a bag, closes that bag, ties that bag up with a ribbon. So many ribbons, so much packaging. Wow, what a luxury experience.
Jeez.
And it's part of their fresh and energizing home edit, designer term, I guess. And it's really focused on like notes that are bright, zesty, and invigorating to spruce us up and kick us into gear for 2026.
Yeah.
We did mention one Joe Malone candle before. Actually, a guest did. It was Alonzo and Dave from Linoleum Knife. They recommended Joe Malone's pine and eucalyptus candle for the holiday season. And so this is my first foray into this particular luxury brand. And the first thing I'll say is that this is a fragrance company, like they do perfumes. So it is much more in the vein of a perfume scent, I would say,
Right.
than what I'm typically used to in a scented candle, which often converge into more of a homey flavor. But I quite like it. It's like you're smelling someone's, ooh, who's wearing that cologne? It's nice. It's kind of that feeling. And what I really do like about it is it's a light scent, but it fills the space, but it doesn't dominate it. It just smells like someone with a really like good taste in cologne is sitting near you. And that could be maybe a turnoff for some people because they're like, I don't want these kind of fragrances around me. But I'm definitely getting the mineral scent is very strong in this. It's very zesty and it
Mm,
makes you feel a little awake. I feel like I'm like in a department store in that sense, like in the fragrance section, but I like it. And what I especially notice is like when I leave the space and return to it, it fills the air with this really nice scent
nice.
that permeates. And I guess this is what you get when you have a nice brand that uses different kinds of oils where it just doesn't feel like it's like sitting up your room. It just feels like it's a light layer. And I can imagine like, oh, I'm a bougie person with this travel candle. I'm not gonna have a stinky hotel room. I'm gonna have like a Joe Malone scent, my signature wood sage and sea salt. So when my guests come over to my hotel room or whatever, I don't know what scenario that is. It smells really nice. Anyway, yeah, I have to give it a wick up. It's really nice, but I don't know if I can forgive the price.
You're selling me because that's why I've avoided the candles, not only because of the price, but they're so perfumey. Just like
Hmm.
you said, the department store is very perfumey. But the scent that you described seems very grounding. And I think that's definitely worth this buck if it leaves a beautiful scent in a room. That's worth it to me. Like you come home and the scent's still there. That sounds lovely.
And so I hope this ushers in for us freshness, a clear palette for 2026. As we wrap up our annual Cozy Trends and Predictions episode, we have a couple of shout outs and thank yous to some folks for joining our Patreon.
Yes, thank you, Daria and Christine, for joining our Patreon. We don't need a crystal ball to see that you're both helping make 2026 a little cozier for all of us.
In the realm of our podcast reviews, we want to shout out a review by Emily Cooper Creations, who posted on Apple Podcasts this 5-star review called Cozy Listening in My Art Studio. And they write, I started listening to All Things Cozy after the US election cycle when I was actively looking for positive and cozy content to digest. Gillian and Matt delivered. I listened to them while working in my art studio, and it feels like hanging out with some kind friends who also enjoy books, Dido, frogs, and candles, among other shared interests. Thank you, Matt and Gillian, for being a light in an often dark world and allowing people to have a calm place to focus their attention. 5 wicks up. Thank you so much, Emily, for your really thoughtful review, such kind words, and also perfectly aligned to our 2016 flashback
Yeah.
kind of trend. Obviously there's been some other US election cycles that have come up that might need some coziness injected, but that was one for sure. Thank you so much, Emily, for writing in.
Yeah, and I love the three-word mantra, Dido frogs and candles, Dido frogs, candles.
We're adding that to the website for sure. And you can follow Emily's lead. Please leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. And it sounds corny, but it is true. If you haven't left a podcast review before, and this goes for anything you listen to, not just us, it's actually what helps podcasts grow because it is what informs the discoverability. You got to feed the algorithm, folks. So when there's fresh reviews on a show, that's when it's more likely to get recommended. So if you like what you're listening to and you like the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen. Even if it's just putting in the star rating, it helps other people find the show and really appreciate it. But of course, if you write a review and you give us 5 stars, and we always love that, we will read it on the show.
Yes, thank you. It always puts a pep in our step
That's
when
right.
we get a new review.
All right. Well, we have a pep on our step off into 2026. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for being patient with me saying 2026 about a billion times in this episode. We are appreciative for your support and your listenership. And we're excited to have a bunch of exciting new episodes for you in spring 2026. We'll be back in your ears in 2 more weeks with a brand new cozy episode. Until then, stay cozy.